So your harness has been completed. She was in very good condition. So 3Z, 6-speed, automatic application. Okay. The whole harness has been wrapped with a fabric tape, as you can see. Okay. This over here is just an earth, so that they would go onto your right hand valve cover. Okay, and then the other side, well, this one actually goes onto your engine hook, and then this one goes onto your cover. I'm not sure why they did that on the 3UZ, usually, or on the 6-speed 3UZ. All the other ones don't have it. Usually it's just got an earth strap from either back of the cylinder head to the firewall. It's basically just to create a proper earth onto the heads. But nevertheless, okay, so you've got your throttle connector, 6-pin, your EFI water temp sensor over there. You've got new connectors on your VVT actuators or oil control valves. Okay, all of your injector connectors were not replaced, and your cam position sensor post VVTi, those have not been replaced. Nothing wrong with them. This is a connector for it's a 2-pin connector for your variable intake length. I think that one was replaced. Coming down here, you've got a fork off. Okay, this one goes to a 5-pin connector which plugs into your airflow meter. Okay, and carries on going down. And what it'll do here is this will plug into the back of your alternator. So you've got a 4-pin connector over there. And then you've got this 4-pin over here, which will plug into your right-hand O2 sensor. Very important that these are plugged in, because obviously the management relies on them for your fuel-air mixtures. Okay. Earth strap on the back of each cylinder head. So you've got one on that side, and you've got another one on this side. Make sure that both of them are tight, and that if you have painted your cylinder heads, just make sure that you clean off the paint so that these do get proper earths. These are the main earth supplies for the system. Okay, you got a 5-pin connector over there that goes down to your knock sensors and to your starter motor solenoid. Harness then wraps around here, exactly the same thing as the other side. Exactly the same. None of the injector connectors were replaced. This connector is for a noise filter that would sit on this side of the motor, same as on this side. So on the 3Z 6-speed, you've got 2 of them. A lot of the 3Z 5-speeds only have 1. But yeah, so this basically just gets rid of noise on your radio. You've got a 2-pin over here. It goes to a VSV valve, which is part of EVAP. If you do not use it, doesn't matter. We'll go into your ECU just now, but it won't affect anything as far as what, running of the actual motor goes. Okay, I haven't tightened any of this on because it's all going to be removed anyway. Again, here your oil control valve connector has been replaced. Runs down here, goes to your 2-pin connector for your cam position sensor, pre-VVTi. You've got a 2-pin connector over here, plugs into your air conditioner pump. Okay, so that's basically for the electric clutch. And then it runs down and it goes to your crank position sensor, and it goes to your oil pressure switch. Okay, running along the back, you have a branch off here, goes to your left-hand O2 sensor, runs along, goes over the transmission, goes into your selector switch. This is for your input speed sensor, so this is on the right-hand side of the transmission. I'm actually running a 5-speed transmission, as you can see on this. I just use it so that it fits on the stand. Doesn't help us. We can't run a transmission on a start stand, obviously. And 5-speed, the input speed sensor's on this side, so I haven't bothered plugging any of that in. And then obviously this is a completely different connector between 5 and 6-speed. Okay. And then this is your output speed sensor. Okay, so that's all. That'll just plug straight into your transmission. You've got nothing there to worry about. Running down here, you've got a branch off, goes to your fuse block. Okay. So you've got all of your fuses over there. You've got an engine light, earth, starter motor or starter relay, fuel control relays, EFI and main relay. Everything is marked on the bottom of your fuse box lid. Okay. Get that back on. Now, this 8-gauge wire goes to the battery positive. This is your main power supply for the management system. Okay, you supplied a system here where the ECU had already been flashed by another company. Okay, they changed the password on this, so I haven't done anything on this. I was gonna break through the password, but it's just not. I just don't have the time for it, and obviously you've already paid these guys to do it, so there's nothing that I can change on here. I have run her. She does run, and she does pick up a error code for your brake light switch. So yeah, but like I say, there's nothing that I can do regarding that. That's not going to affect the performance of the motor at all. The one thing that I didn't like was this was programmed with a file that runs a key rather than a push button start. So all the 6 speeds you can run on a push button start. We actually wired up this motor as a push button start, and then when we got to try and start her, then obviously it wouldn't start. So we had to put another circuit. That's what this. So I've left this little loop out here. If you do decide to change this computer for a push button start, okay, you can basically just cut that wire and blank off the 2 pieces with a bit of heat shrink, just so that they don't touch anything, and then your push button start will work. Okay. Otherwise she'll just be like a normal key start. Okay, so up to you if you want to get rid of this computer or if you want to run her. She'll run. I mean, I'll start her up now and we'll do a video on that, and then we'll do a diagnostic scan of what error codes you are receiving. Okay, so on these connectors coming out of your harness over here, these are the main connectors that you're going to be. You don't have to worry about this. This is just a bridge connector. Okay, these ones over here, these are basically the 2 that you are going to be concerned about. Okay, so you've got this pigtail, this 12 pin. This is for your transmission. Okay, so you've got your park, reverse, neutral drive. You've got your overdrive. You've got your 3, your 2, your L. And then we've also put in cruise control here for you. Okay, so you've got all of that. And then this 10 pin is the one that you're actually going to be wiring into your vehicle for the running of the engine, as well as the instrument cluster. So you've got your ignition, your start, your fuel, your rev counter. Okay, you've got your oil, your charge, you've got your engine light, and you've got your aircon compressor clutch. Okay. On these 2, you've got a 6 pin over here and a 4 pin. So what happens with that is we give you this extension cable, this extension harness. It'll go from where your ECU is, and it'll go all the way to your vehicle, to the inside of the cab. You've got a 6 pin over here that'll plug into a accelerator pedal. Okay, I don't know if you've got you get 2 different types. You get one that's got a sensor like this, which is two rows of 3, 6 pin. Okay, and then you get another one which is 1 row of 6. Let me know which one you've got. I mean, a lot of guys just buy the motors from an importer, and I don't know if you've got a pedal or not, and then which one you do have. So you just let me know which connector you need on there. And then you've got another branch off over here that goes to your OBD2 connector. Okay, so that's a standard OBD2. You can just fit that in your dashboard for diagnostics or whatever. I've just got my interface in there just so that when we do the test run, then we can read codes and all of that stuff. Okay, so I've basically put on an airbox here, and I've plugged in the airflow meter. Like I say, I can't plug any of the transmission stuff in. I just want to, let's give her a test run and then see where we are. So ignition is on, crank. bump, primary circuit, brake light switch as error codes. There's nothing that I can do about that because, like I say, you have been locked out. So yeah, you have been locked out of the system. I just want to show you another thing here on this computer. So you see you got ECM. I don't see your transmission. So this here, okay, let's go all the way out. Let's go all the way out and then go from there. And we'll go, let's go there. Others is fine. Others, okay. So this here was programmed as a GS 430. GS has a little bit more power than the LS, so that's all good. That's all good. Here we go. ECT. So there's all of the trouble codes for the transmission, simply because I haven't plugged any of that stuff in. Okay. And then for engine, brake light switch. That could have been deleted in the codes. But yeah, like I say, I'm not gonna crack ECUs, you know, for this. It'll take hours and hours. It's got a custom target data on it, and yeah, it'll take quite a bit of time to crack that. But yeah, she runs good. You're just gonna have to deal with the engine light may switch off. I mean, this all your transmission codes will disappear. Brake light switch is not a critical, you know, problem. It's more for cruise control than anything else. Okay, so if you do connect up your cruise control, those codes should disappear. Okay, but yeah, if you've got any trouble, you just give us a shout. You should have no problems though. She runs good.